part. Glitter dandruff.
How do I even video? Hello everyone, welcome to Roll to Forge, and this is our first session of our Band of Blades campaign, Shattered Glory. Around the table here, my friends and family. Hey family, you want to go around the table and introduce yourselves to the people at home?
Hi, my name is Luke. I'm one of the players. What do I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I teach for a living. That's what I do.
Like theater teaching, right?
Yeah, like theater
Specific teaching. You're not a math teacher.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm Nick. I do nothing interesting for a living. But I'm here to play and I like to bake as well.
If you have any Twitter handles or tags or Instagram things, I can post those.
Social media sucks, guys.
Quit it.
Just leave. Don't follow us either.
Yeah. Actually, don't watch us, please. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Grace, and I'm an artist and barista. And my Insta handle is Grace Kildew. Follow me.
Or don't.
Or
I'm Tyler. I'm a Cleveland-based actor, and I'm an RPG enthusiast.
Hey, what's up? My name's Delaney Hagee. Your local redhead and your best friend, and your part-time bartender. I don't bartend. No.
Full-time liar.
Full-time liar. I work in an office.
Holler.
Holler. Don't follow.
Paula.
And my name is Jeremy Gage, and I will be your director this evening. So, yeah, that's about it. Let's jump in. I don't think there's anything else. You can find me at Roll Forge on Twitter or on YouTube.
But you don't have to. Is that okay?
Yeah, you keep doing that.
Let's make
Is
a
that the
bit.
bit?
Come
That's
on,
the
yeah,
bit.
that's the bit.
So, now our first bit, guys. It has been 848 years since the first emperor established the old empire. The annals tell you the beginnings of the seventh emperor, Tartarus, who in 422 OEF established a legion as an elite unit to fight against the supernatural and existential forces under his personal banner. The next 100 years describe the legion as an honor guard to keep the peace. In 566 OEF, the empire is shattered, the last emperor killed by a chosen, and the legion becomes a mercenary unit for hire for those who can afford them. Since then, many dark times have come for the empire. The Gods' War, a terrible conflict in which those chosen by the gods waged battle on one another for no discernible purpose. Terrifying artifacts were constructed as god-slaying tools. Another tale is of Zora, chosen of the living god, who destroyed the entire city of Dar, leaving it a cursed land of which time moves uncertainly now. But the worst is that of 10 years ago, the sudden arrival of a powerful sorcerer wearing a 10-pointed true fire crown, known only as the Cinder King. A chosen appeared to contest the undead horde of the Cinder King. This chosen was broken and turned to his side. The gods hastily respond with a pair of chosen twins who fight with the Aldermani armies. One of the twins, too, became broken, and the Cinder King marched eastward. In a seeming panic, the gods selected 9 more chosen to dispatch the Cinder King, an unprecedented event. Unfortunately, this miracle would be trumped by the breaking of 5 more of these chosen. Humanity held strong with the invention of Blackshot, but after the chosen of Nyx was broken, the moon above shattered. Some scholars would use this dark omen and soon change the calendar markings from OEF to YAB, years after the breaking. 2 years ago, the chosen, Shreya, of the Barden healing goddess Askira, returned to the Eastern Kingdoms with a new plan and enlisted new aid. A Barton general recruited the Legion from your contract on the Isles. The Legion marched with the Eastern armies. The current year is 848 OEF. Aldermani soldiers had pushed the Cinder King to retreat west, but the Broken began to create new, powerful undead. During the Battle of Ettenmark Fields, these new undead were devastating. The Eastern armies were forced to flee in disarray, hoping to regroup at the Western Front. The undead march on your heels. So, with the crafting of Blackshock, the undead armies had been at a standstill in the Western Kingdoms, too well entrenched to attack directly, and held at bay by smaller but better equipped forces. That changed at the Battle of Ettenmark Fields. Now the Legion has been shattered and the Cinder King's troops march east, bolstered with heretofore unseen horrors to fight humanity. The Legion commander was captured, holding the retreat, and taken to an Aldermani mountain castle on the border of Darn. The red banners of the Cinder King were sighted entering the keep, and Zora claims a special interrogator was sent to turn the commander with her mind intact. The Legion's leaders have decided on one last-ditch rescue attempt. Castles are designed to keep people out, but there is a drainage pipe beneath the mountain that might provide a way in. Can you rescue the commander before she is turned and all Legion secrets extracted from her? Or can you take her out before it's too late? Can you even make it out alive? So, if you'd like to go around the table and introduce your specialists, please. We'll do this in order.
So, would you prefer this like us describing them, or do you want us like
Describing them.
All right.
Yeah.
So, my specialist is an officer named Malcolm Shackleton, Captain Shackleton, and he's got an eye patch, and he's got, a very photo-generous amount of salt and pepper at the sides of his hair, and his nickname is Devil Eye, because he's still such a good aim, even though he's only got one eye. And he is Orite in his heritage. He used to be in the Silver Stags before he kind of ranked out of it. And yeah, that's Malcolm Shackleton.
I'll be playing the scout, whose name is Silver Prowling Gale. That's a Panyar, and they have animal traits, and his animal trait is that he has the legs and the feet and the tail of a panther. He's the scout, so he's sneaky, he's stealthy, gets the job done, and he's confident in what he does. The Panyar have the 3 different names, the Silver, Prowling Gale, and there's some relations with some other people that have some events gave us the same final name. I'll let you talk about that. But yeah, so I'm the stealthy panther scout.
Sweet. So I am a heavy, and my name is Shimya Dua. I'm a very large man, kind of like the guy, I forget his name, from Mulan, the big guy, who likes to
Still
eat.
not looked up his name.
It's been a week. 3 weeks. But he's he's a Barton, so his traits are warm and stoic. So you can't really tell what he's thinking, but he is friendly. But his stoicness makes him a little bit frightening, especially in battle, because you never know. Can't really read him. So sort of has a calm rage to him.
I'm playing the sniper known as Indigo Rising Gale, also a Panyar. And as we said, Panyar having those kind of animalistic traits, he has very long, bony-looking fingers, like unnaturally so, and like a hooked nose. Very thin lips. Seems kind of inhuman. Very quiet. And the name Gale being the deed that marks both him and
Silver Prowling.
Or
SPG if you
SPG, IRG. Coming from the day that Jeremy mentioned when the Nyx, the moon god's champion, was broken and the moon kind of shattered. insane storms were happening, winds were picking up, and covering the retreat of people running away from the undead horde were the two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flying through those winds.
Flying through the wind, saving people on the ground. Yeah, so that's a little bit about my character.
My character's name is a medic, and her name is Special K. Dr. Special K. She has, like, short hair, like, to her shoulder. It's very, got a straight cut around it. And she wears, like, a flapper jacket. And with, like, pockets inside. It's where she keeps all of her medical goops and syringes.
Oh, man.
And syringes.
Yeah.
It's like from here to here.
She's an Orite, but even though with Orites the whole thing is like, oh, my class is better than your class. She has always been on the bottom of the totem pole. She's okay with that. She's not trying to shimmy her way back up.
She's got her goop.
She's got
She's
her goop and her syringes. And she's gonna save the day, that Special K.
Special case.
All right. Thank you all. So, rain and thunder is punctuated by the howls of the undead above. The rainwater exits the drainage pipe. Your chosen, Zora, will lead an assault on the main gates as a distraction. This is a stealth and speed mission. Get in, get the commander, get out. Whatever you do, don't let the undead learn the Legion's secrets. Do not fail. As you break away in the darkness of the storm from Zora's assault, you make your way down the cliffside and come to the tight entrance of the drainage pipe. The rushing water is cold, the pipe is black as pitch, and it all reeks of sewage and decay. As you crawl single file for the next 100 or so feet or so, you exit into a pool of some sort of an interception point for all the storm drains in the fort, to which you can stand. The knee-high rushing water is riddled with old refuse. You can hear low groans echoing throughout the stone chambers from beyond the two rough archways that split the chamber, and you can see rusty gates that bar both exits. So you're out in this large, kind of 40 by 40 foot tall ceiling stone chamber. You can see two tunnels that break on the corners of the room. Both are barred by rusty gates.
Are they like portcullis gates, so there's like enough space between the bars to get maybe an arm through?
Like maybe an arm through, yeah.
Maybe an arm.
Yeah. And they both have visible, like, single key padlocks, like the ones that are like big and rectangular. And which squad is with you also?
Which squad is with us?
Yeah.
This is a...
Ember Wolves or Ghost Owls.
Let's go with Ember Wolves.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Ember
Or-
Wolves? Yeah. This is a stealthy quick mission.
This
though.
is a
Yeah,
stealthy
this is a
quick
stealthy
mission?
mission. I would go with the ghost.
Okay, let's go with the
Just so
Ghost
you know, the
Owls.
traits don't matter when they're a squad.
Right.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
mean like in terms of the
Narrative. Yeah, sure.
the people that are in the ghost owls, like
I don't need to pass out the
No.
documents
No.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only if someone dies here.
Alright, so Ghost Owls then.
Yeah. Cool. So the 10 of you kind of go through this drainage pipe single file. You come out into the stone chamber. You can hear sort of this low groaning coming across from deeper within. But right now, your current obstacle are these two rusty gates.
So they go different directions.
That's correct.
I know that
Maybe to different portions in the fort. Let me give you a map.
I know that Black Flood of the Ghost Owls has one point in rig and could attempt to pick one of the locks.
So when you use someone else in the squad to do it, usually you want to do it, but if you use someone else in the squad to do it, instead we use either martial, you would use a martial roll for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone could use a martial roll for that.
Right. Does anybody have a point in martial?
I have 1 point in martial.
Well, then I would say you do it, because I don't have any points in martial. I just have points in...
Or is anyone already good at rig? No.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I just got...
I can move through.
You could also try to break
open.
through it. That's another option.
Right.
Yeah, but that would be loud.
Yeah.
Can
You
I
have options.
set up?
Can I discipline him into picking the lock?
You can
Because I've got
also-
2 points in discipline.
You can also discipline him into picking the lock for sure. So you are behind this so Zora and all of them are fighting here on this along this wall, and the undead are holding them here. And you kind of like snuck in through like this side of the mountain.
Is this good or bad?
This is all village.
This is all village. They're trying to get through here.
Yeah.
To the castle.
Yeah, you're trying to get in here. All this is the fort castle.
Gotcha. So we've come through here, and we're at where right now?
You're like just inside, somewhere in this area. You are unsure as to where the commander is being specifically kept.
Well, I just say black blood front and center. And I'm going to point at the lock. I say, I need this gone in 5 seconds.
This will be control. You're definitely in charge here, and then standard effect will pick the lock.
Woo, got a 5.
5. So he does it, but he doesn't like the tone that you're taking with him.
Doesn't like that.
He's already. You can visibly see like these five. Ember wolves are very like
Ghost owls.
Right? Oh, ghost owls. Yeah. So the ghost owls, while usually slink into themselves, don't have to deal with as many undead as are going to be up in this courtyard once you get up there. Like they're probably whatever's down here, and then maybe 30 more enemies inside the courtyard in of itself. Currently distracted by Zora's group. So you can see like the visible shakiness and kind of the timidity amongst all 5 of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start a clock for the next time that, once this clock fills, they may run. Mm. So we're going to do a 6 o'clock here. I'm going to mark one off right now. Okay. But the lock is picked to the left or the right one?
Left.
Can we flashback? Have led a small kind of information gathering from the town below, like what they know of, trying to find any information about like we know about the sewer, but how much of the layout do we know, like where it's
kind of like a schematic.
Yeah.
Sure. Why it's gonna cost 1, mm-hmm. And then why don't you make a roll for me to see either like a consort to talk to people or a sway or something, or maybe like a research to like go through town records. To any of those seem like they would fit for this.
All right. Can I say that
to figure out
the previous like scouting attempt? Can I have you scout?
Not to get into the building yourself. No, the undead had already occupied the space.
Is there anybody who has better research than me and should have said this one? I said myself. Or do I have to do it because I said flash?
Not a reason.
You will take the 1 stress.
I'll take the stress, but
and you
somebody
also
else
have to roll.
I have to roll? All right. So what did you say?
Either anything that would talk to people or research, and
doesn't talk to anyone.
You can push yourself.
I'm gonna push myself to make it a straight roll.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
So that's 1 stress plus 2 more stress.
Yeah.
All right.
So this will just determine the accuracy of that information.
All right.
Oh.
You know that this
really good information.
The most that they're able to tell you, because you weren't able to find any of the castle workers, they had all been killed before you got here. Mm-hmm. Any of the townsfolk that know about any of the stonework down here, probably, that the left gates will take you to more of the center of the courtyard. The right gate probably leads up into like a barracks chamber pot area or something to that effect.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chamber pot.
I remain silent, but those are just guesses. Yeah.
I'm going to move through the gate, and I look back at everyone else, and I say, I'm taking the front. Who's right behind me?
I'll be right behind you.
Oh, Marshall, also, who is in charge of this mission?
Yeah, so let's put the officer in charge.
It has to be
Light out of line.
Whoa!
This guy.
Who went over my head?
And so just to determine marching order is Captain Shackleton in front, and then Shimya, and then who's behind Shimya?
You can move probably 3 wide in these larger tunnels.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with my size?
You might be like 2 wide. Yeah.
Have we made it through the bars? You got the bars?
Yeah, the bars are open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
these are like open working tunnels that people can like walk through and do maintenance on. They're not as tight as the drainage pipe you had to crawl through earlier.
Okay. I definitely go to the back, making sure that the rest of the ghost owls are ahead of me. And I don't say anything to them, I just kind of wait for them to walk in front of me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Tyler's at the very back. Grace and I are at the front. You guys just in front of the ghost owls then?
I mean,
I'll mix it up with the ghost owls.
I'll stay towards the front. I can always dip ahead, take a look.
You can see
You
a
won't
couple.
hear me coming.
You can see some of them tightly white knuckling the hilts of their swords and their holsters, and some of them gripping their rifles super hard.
Question at this point: what is our loadout?
Oh yeah, what is your loadout?
What is our loadout?
Should we go
I'll
light,
tell you.
normal, or heavy?
Light lets you move the fastest and the sneakiest. Cool. Unless you have, I think it's Panier Traveler.
Exactly.
Oh,
so I'm going with normal.
So Black
Doing
Flood
this
has
as
that,
well.
but I'm for it.
Yeah.
So
So the light load lets you move quick and sneakily. A heavy load means that you're armed to the teeth and ready to fight.
I'm going with normal.
And also normal.
Yeah,
And
normal.
I'm going to take
You get 2 utility items, and all those are on the items list if you have any questions about what they are or do.
Grace, your quartermaster, right?
Yes.
Can I have some black shot?
That couldn't have been decided before this.
What?
Yeah.
flashback?
You don't know what your supplies are yet
Oh,
until
that's
after
right.
this mission.
So we
okay.
can just say
And I won't.
So my light load includes black shot.
Yes.
So
if
what
your
I-
load automatically includes it, you're fine.
But if we wanted to take it as utility, that would be discussed.
Correct. Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Black
Blackshot reliquaries, unless you have a trait that says otherwise, have to be discussed with the
I'm
quartermaster.
just going to,
Yeah, I was thinking.
and I'll ask you just in case it's not worth looking into, but what do lenses do?
They let you snipe, I think. Let you scope down. Your item sheet is right here.
Expensive or
I'm
Oh, it says it's just for viewing things at a distance.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take some lenses and a hand weapon.
Okay. Also, I've made the assumption that torches have been lit, but it is pitch black darkness in here.
I like.
I'm taking ammo and oil.
Alright, so we're headed into a tunnel of pitch blackness.
Yes, yeah. I assume 1 or 2 torches between the front and the back are these small ones.
I just have both.
I actually do have a question. What determines when something's fine?
It says it on the
Okay.
on the item. They'll say fine hand blades or fine armor or something like that.
My
underneath your
complimentary
loadout.
item is a cigar. But it's not lit
Heard.
right now.
Heard. That's
It's
important.
in my coat pocket. It's not even in the mix.
I want you.
It's important for you.
Saving it for right before something sneaks up behind me and kills me. I'm gonna cockily light it and chomp the end.
And then shove it
And
in his
then-
eye.
Yes. Oh no, I was just.
Yeah.
You just need to smoke it.
I just.
Just
So,
throw off our scent.
So I I don't do a full stride forward, just kind of like a crouched, and I pass down the line, don't break formation until you hear otherwise.
Mhm.
And we just keep moving.
They're kind of clumped together, broken up by, don't tell me, Special K, Dr. Special K, Dr. SK, broken up by the group there, but yeah, they are marching forward along with the rest of you. So you, does everyone have their items picked?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
2 fine pistols out and ready.
I got oh yeah, my fine pistols out and ready.
Perfect. So you're
That was
walking
my
out.
idea.
My flare gun's holstered.
I'd like to know.
As you,
I need to see everything in this hallway really quickly.
yeah,
Nothing's happened yet, and I have 3 stress. This is great.
as you continue down the hallway, you can hear the groans get louder and kind of start to echo and bounce off what sounds like another chamber ahead. The way that it's echoing off, probably 60 feet in front of you, but you can't see anything. The light's only giving off maybe 15-foot worth of light.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we just hear growling ahead.
Groaning.
It's groaning. It's maybe 60 feet away.
Yeah.
But that's all we got.
Yeah.
And so I throw up a hand like this,
Mm-hmm.
make everybody stop. Say, all right. Unless we get a volunteer to scout ahead, we're gonna draw them out fight them as we are.
You volunteer. Yeah. This is what I do.
This is what you do? Then do it.
As they're talking, I also put a hand on one of the ghost owls that kind of seems, and I just, like, without looking at it, just walk past him towards the front and get behind you. Yeah, I don't say anything, but I'm just standing behind you, ready to go.
And your character is Indigo.
I'm Indigo.
Silver Prowling Gale.
Alright, Silver Prowling Gale. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Are you going? Are you like?
Oh, we should go. Yeah, let's.
I nod.
Yeah, so we
Do
head
you-
up ahead,
How do you head up ahead?
quietly, stealthily, sticking to the walls.
Maybe using some sort of action to determine the success rate of that.
Probably gonna scout.
Sure. That
And I'll
makes sense.
scout with him as well.
Sure. Do you want to do it separately or as a group action?
I have +2, he has +2.
Yeah.
Do you get a benefit for rolling as a group or no?
No.
Other than that,
I
You
don't.
can use everyone's 6s. No, that's only you that can use everyone's 6s.
So just doing separate.
don't why take stress.
Ooh.
6-5.
Oh!
So he got a super success and I got a regular one.
And also it was controlled because you're sneaking ahead, and it's not an effect, you'll be sneaky. But with the double 6, your effect is enhanced and great. So both of you kind of, it's almost like watching Batman slink away from the commissioner whenever they're talking. Like he turns one way and then like, oh shit, they're gone.
Are you gonna go?
Both of you are like pressed up against the walls. You're using like the walls to kind of guide your. Because I assume you're not taking any limits.
No,
No.
Okay.
No.
I wasn't. And I was just kind of like, again, those longbow opinions, just kind of feeling the wall.
Yeah.
Not really looking.
There's like obviously based on how light works, it is traveling down the hallway. You can still see the group behind you, and there's like maybe you can see like the cracks in some of the stonework or something like that. And it's a little reflective because of all the water that's coating the walls, all the oil and grime. And as you push forward, the groans get louder and louder, and your fingers like break like you touch openness, so you know that the tunnel has opened up into a room. And because of your 6, as you like come around, you hear something like a metal clattering sound, and it's immediately to your left, and you pull back, and it just walks right past you, whatever it was.
But we can't see it because it's not lit.
You guys aren't close enough.
Okay.
You can't see exactly what it is, but it's about maybe either the same height or a little taller than you are, and there's a lot of like metal clattering that's happening in this space.
Yeah, I like pull back against the wall,
Mhm.
and then I see you like going to step forward, and my tail whips. And goes right in front of you, Willy Wonka cane style.
Nice.
And the metal thing crosses in front of us.
Are you clarity? Are you pointing to follow in the direction or take the play? Go back.
Based on the clattering, there is anywhere between like 8 or more things in there. You assume it might be one of Render's rank and file, the Gaunts, which are the humanoid undead that have pieces of metal plates bolted into their skin.
Cool.
And they all usually carry or either have attached to their arms some sort of like crude sharpened metal, like it's like thing. It's just sharp and it's like a sheet of metal that can cut you.
Okay.
Yes.
So, my hand signals and gestures.
Mhm.
You're so used to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We pick up on
We were
it.
together. We
Yeah,
were
yeah.
both ghost
Dark
owls.
Elves. Yeah.
We go way back. But yeah, so we head back to the group to report to them what we saw, and I'm like, well, the good news is I'm great at what I do, and I was able to see everything that's going on there. Seems like we got like 8, maybe 9 of the gaunts, and I don't know about you, but I do not want to deal head on with those metal heads.
8, maybe 9. 8, maybe 9.
There are 10 of you in this tunnel.
8, maybe 9. 8, maybe 9.
I mean, maybe it's 8.5.
It's like legs walking around.
Yeah. You never know.
Well, commander's on the other side of whatever's there. Turn around and face like the whole gathered assembly.
Mhm.
All right, heads up, troops. Knowledge is power. If you retreat, you will not know what is happening. Keep the person in front of you in sight. They are your wall. Stay close to your wall. Kill anything that peeks out over your wall. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Crystal
Right.
clear.
Let's take the lead on this.
Mm.
I'm gonna draw my hand weapon.
Sure.
Would we all be like very knowledgeable of what gaunts are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do we know that they have like any specific weakness? Like, is there
Uh,
something that they're like susceptible to?
Melee combat is hard because of their armor plating. Mechanically speaking, for me, it would like reduce the effect level of any skirmish action or something like
But
that.
not being shot.
It would also be hard if the shot was in like melee range.
Got it.
It's easier from far off to like pick out joints and things or
Things that aren't
headshots.
armored.
Yeah.
Do they use vision?
They're as blind as you are down there. They're just kind of like clambering around, and you know that they can't hurt each other. Like they because of the cinder blood, they're able to sense like where their allies are.
So once we proceed up to where we were, does it still sound like it had continued down? So it came from the left and went to the right?
It sounds like there's a big room here, and they're all in this room. You can hear like there's a water channel cutting the center of this tunnel, and you can hear like more rushing water in there. So maybe like there's a pool or something, or there's more like connected tunnels up ahead.
And I'd like to take this moment to say that I'm going to use my ability lead from the front
Mm-hmm.
to lead us in a group action
Mm-hmm.
to improve our scale.
Oh, cool.
So we'll scale up.
Yeah. So, based on my phone map right now, there are 10 of you, so I think you're scale 3.
We're scale 3!
Which will make you scale 4.
We're scale 4!
We're a legion! We're a legion.
Are we going to also...
Yeah, you guys are scale 3, you scale 4, and if there are only 8 of them, they're like scale 2.
Gotcha.
Or scale 3, excuse me.
So are we going to try to maneuver through them or without alerting them? Because I would suggest, and I would kind of, to you, like the pool itself, the sound of the running water would cover us. Is what I'm suggesting.
Aren't they going every which way? They're not really going in a line or anything, could you tell?
It was kind of vague groaning that I heard.
You didn't hear the movement?
I could hear them move, but they're all over. Like they're
Plus all the echoes in the chamber make it hard to discern like what the pattern is, if any.
Alright, so
And
they're
these
not
things
organized.
no, they're clumsy. I mean, metalheads, you know.
You know that the rank and file or the threat 1 enemies of both Render and Breaker have to be like given simple commands. So in this case, the command could have been something like guard the sewer, and that's it. Like whatever they do from that point forward is very like mindless droning type things.
I think we got a surprise on. I don't know if we're sneaking through that room.
You don't know if we're sneaking.
Could you tell how big the room was?
It seemed pretty big, right?
Pretty big, yeah, based on how long it took echoes to bounce around.
I mean,
I would give that to your scout roll.
yeah, it seemed pretty big. I don't know. Sneaking through with our whole group, with them in any random direction, I don't know if that's gonna work. I think we might be best with the element of surprise.
Shimya,
Hmm.
how do you feel about us going in together? We make a little noise, we get everyone looking our way,
Mm-hmm.
and then everybody else follows us out of the tunnel.
I can get behind that.
We're gonna be in the thick of it. Special K, you might have to patch me up, might have to patch Shimmy up.
I have a question about the anchor ability.
Mm-hmm.
What what does that mean? Does that mean that
It increases your scale as a person. You operate as a scale 2 person. Individual.
so I can use that as an action to enhance something, or
You just get to use it. You just get your superhero power and use it. No rules or anything.
okay?
You
so
can
so I'm
attach
scale
that to
2.
something else, like you turn yourself scale 2, and then you could skirmish as if you were a scale 2 unit.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Alright.
So what's the plan?
Plan is for the two of us to go in, draw attention, and as the group swarms in on us, the side of the crowd facing the tunnel gets taken by surprise.
And what action would you like to use for this?
This, I guess, it's all one connected thing.
This would be a group action. We would do someone would do a group action for the specialist, and one specialist to do a group action for the squad.
If you're talking about going in there yourself, drawing attention, and getting back, bringing them into just an onslaught from us.
Oh no, we're not bringing them anywhere. We're getting them to look at us, all at
Get them
us,
from the side.
Oh,
and then everybody else runs out as a nice little surprise.
I'm just saying, if you want me to do that, you want me to create the distraction, get their attention, I'm going to be able to move quicker than that.
So maybe you could move to the other side of them, get their attention so they turn around to face you, and we attack from behind.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if we're, instead of sending you guys straight into the fire, I can.
You can hear like a single groan getting closer to you.
Okay.
Alright. You go in first. Scream if you want us to come in sooner. Everybody else waits.
Are your torches still lit?
We didn't proceed to where we were because we.
I'm talking about for whatever's approaching you.
No, I'm saying if we went up to where we were at, we led the whole group there. Then.
We never put them out.
Okay.
Just saying, we
We
never put them
we
out,
never
so
thought about
they're
it,
lit.
so.
I'll shoot off a flare. Shit.
Alright.
Or you can do that anyways and like just shoot it in the space with like a quick like torchlight, you know what I mean?
I'll shoot off a flare when you guys shoot attack.
Alright.
I'll try and blind them as best I can.
Just take care of yourself. That groaning's not a love letter. Now get going.
Alright. Gets ready, starts going through. And I'm guessing this would be maneuver, right?
Maneuver means you're not doing it sneakily if that matters. Maneuver is for like
Well, I'm trying to get their attention.
Oh, you want to just get their attention?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think
I'm trying to get through, you know,
just
without,
push through.
well, like, I'm trying to duck, dodge, weave through that crowd that's in that room.
You can
know?
certainly use maneuver.
Like trying to maneuver through,
Scouts
get to
are
the other
also
side, get their attention.
Yeah.
So that they come after me and our whole mob can just rush up on
Okay. I will say that this is a desperate roll because you're running into potentially 8 or more enemies, but the effect will be standard. You'll be able to like pierce through and start to get their attention. I would accept maneuver. I would accept scout.
Same in both of those.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's gonna be fine.
We get a point of XP.
And then
because it's desperate. So
one
whichever
of-
one you want XP in.
one of you either marshal or discipline the squad to make sure that they're going to operate correctly during this next task.
I've got 2 discipline.
You should do it then.
Alright. So as he's running, is this just like a spoken action?
Yeah, it's like you're commanding them and making sure that they're going to fall in line to do what they need to do.
And look back. Listen, without you, he's dead. He never did anything to you, so you can't kill him now. We all clear on that? 6.
Yeah, so they both, you can actually see, just before you put out the torches, you can see like the white knuckling on their hilts kind of like lax and they start to draw blades and they look a little bit calmer than they were a moment ago.
That works.
What if it-
He's just putting on a face. This office is really just a facade.
Yeah. But because you use discipline again, I am going to mark another tick on the fear clock.
Alright, so
So you go in, you're making your scout roll.
yeah.
Like I said, desperate and
push myself.
Do
I
it.
get an
Then.
extra die if I push myself.
That's
right?
correct. Yeah,
So
two
mark out
stress.
2 stress.
Oh man. Being an officer is great.
Fucking do it.
Well, if you want to do it, hey.
Yay, we did it. So make sure to mark your 2 XP for wherever scout is on your attribute.
I was doing
2
a
XP?
maneuver.
Or maneuver, whichever. So yeah, as you maneuver through the space and you push through you can hear his, right? His,
Yeah,
his
his.
feet. His footfalls echo off the tunnels. He goes down. You can hear that single like. You actually shove into something. You like clip it with one of your shoulders, and you don't cut yourself in any way. But you hear this immediate like, and something pling pling like scratch against the stonework right behind you. You push. You enter into the chamber and you bump into like something else. You like dip into the waterway and come out the other side. Like you can feel this single like stretch of piping, and then it comes in like this big hole. You dip like. The bottom half of you is now soaked in water, but you come out the other side, you come up elevation and go through, and there's another exit tunnel. You hit another set of bars, but you're at the other side of the chamber now.
Okay. Well, once I'm at that other side of the, like, I know that they've now.
Yeah, they hear you. You can hear a lot of rattling, being like getting closer to your specific position.
Yeah, and once I know that like I've got the good group of them mobbing towards me. That flare gun.
You can see this orange amber light kind of hit the top of the ceiling and start to slow fall into the space, and it bounces just outside that deep pool of water, and you guys can all see that at the end of the tunnel. Are you going in?
I start running in and I shout back, all right, baby birds, let's make mama proud.
And you see that single one that's just exiting, and do either of you want to take that one out by itself?
I'll do it.
Yeah,
Skirmish it.
yeah, absolutely.
Great.
And what are you skirmishing with?
My heavy weapon,
Which
is an axe.
Great. 5, cool. Also, this would be risky standard, so you get it. You definitely specialists all count as threat to opponents because you usually have fine weaponry. So you come down, you slash and hunker, and you cut right through, like from this, even through like part of the metal. Like you kind of slide off of it, and it cuts down into flesh and cuts like a gash into the chest and kind of separates and then falls over. You can smell this putrid, acrid smell coming from the wound, but as it kind of falls, because it was already alerted from the previous pass through, you're going to take you take no harm because you're threat 2, so you're good.
So I rolled a 5 and a 1. I take the higher number. Is
Yeah.
that a result?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
So does it look like that is done? Or
Yeah, that is Dunzo's.
Okay.
So you push through that first one, you come into the chamber, you can see that there are actually like 12 or 14 of these gun enemies in there. But you have scale on them, you have your anchors, so and you also had your did you use your anchor?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I
okay,
didn't.
okay.
So if I use my anchor, what does it do? It makes me scale up.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
So instead of acting as one person, you have the strength of like 5 people.
Okay. So it just has greater effect, or what?
Your threat is basically increased by 1.
Okay.
So instead of threat 2, you're threat 3.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, that's cool. Except in situations where like your numbers or strength wouldn't matter, like being shot at or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're in this space. I think the most accurate thing would be to do like a group skirmish or something to that effect.
So lead everybody in a skirmish action.
Yeah. Whoever is leading will take on the stress or something.
Can I, because I have no hand weapons and I'm firing pistols, can I shoot instead of being a part of this group action?
You can. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Would I have to be skirmishing to lead the group in the action of skirmishing?
Yes. Everyone has to use the same action.
Alright, then I will. I've got my sword and I'm going to lead everybody in a group skirmish!
Do they get any like
Well, you don't have to group action. It'd be like the simplest in terms of like applying control and effect stuff. But you can do it individually too.
I'm gonna do it just to activate lead from the front.
Okay.
For everybody.
Sure.
And so I'll just. And what does pushing myself do? So I take on 1 stress. But
You
I
take
get,
2 stress, you get an additional die for your roll.
All right.
Or you can get increased effect, or you can operate when incapacitated.
I'm gonna push myself for increased effect.
Okay, so right now you are in a risky situation because you kind of like equal scale on everything, aside from your ability, and then it'll be standard. You'll probably mow down all of these gaunts and with an increased effect, absolutely. So if everyone wants to make a skirmish roll, except for you, if you want to make a shoot roll for me.
Am I part of this or am I part of it?
You are part of it. Yeah, you're definitely part of it.
So I don't have any things filled in for skirmish, so how many dice do I roll?
2 and you take the lower.
Unless you push yourself for a straight roll.
1.
Okay.
Oh, she's.
So you got a 5, 1,
6.
6. So you succeed and you'll take 1 stress from her roll.
Gotcha. And it for lead from the front, it says lead group action in combat. You may count multiple 6s from different rolls as a critical.
Oh. Well then damn. Yeah, no additional harm falls to anyone. I don't even know if you'll need the shoot roll, honestly.
Alright, then I keep my ammo.
Yeah.
I was at the back, so I was like I was waiting to pick off any that were like starting to mob on someone.
Yeah.
So the thing was, if I saw any of the ghost owls like get caught, like jump.
Yeah,
out.
all 10 of you, you hear a couple shots being fired off from the ghost owls, from their muskets, and you see a couple blades come into different gaunts. Every gaunt you hear is taken by surprise, falling in the water, falling against the wall. You take your shield and you pin one against the wall and stab at it with the great axe's point. Woo!
Nice.
That's a delicate ability.
Moment of flavor. Every time I look to shoot at something, I see it die, and then just like my thin lips kind of like curl up in a smile as I reholster both pistols.
And you see a bunch of one of the like rookies like multiply stabbing like
And I walk away from it.
I don't know if that helps.
I don't think it did.
Honestly,
I have 0 result. I'm not going to talk to people.
honestly, while he's stabbing, can I grab him and pick him up and just go like this?
So
Try to
So,
calm him down.
we can we see like everything that basically Nick saw now that we're in the
Yeah, so you see there's 3 different archways that lead deeper into the castle's sewer system, and in this section you can see a ladder against the wall that leads up somewhere.
All right.
You've traveled probably maybe like 250 feet into the fort somewhere.
Shimmy, are you still right behind me?
Indeed.
All right, everyone, we survived our first ghost story. All in. I start climbing up the ladder.
Okay.
Yeah, with the rookie down.
All right. Yeah, and I'll keep following.